Hi there, guys. So, as you know, content's been kind of like, oh, Jesus Christ. Content's been kind of like due to me being ill and Alex being injured. I'm basically recovered, still got a little bit of a cough, but it's nearly there. Um, but there won't be a part pick this week, so I wanted to do a bit more solo content. So today I'm going to talk a bit about mental health and work. So, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I've gone through my own stuff when it's come to mental health and work. And the one big takeaway that I will take from it is that it's never okay not to speak up. Because every workplace, especially big companies, will have a system in place to support you when you're struggling. Obviously, there are places out there that don't, and that's completely wrong. Because for you to be able to be at your best, your work has to support you when you're at your worst. And if you feel like you can't tell your work when something's going on, you shouldn't be there. Things in our personal lives have a habit of creeping over and affecting our own judgments on mental health. They say to leave your personal life at the door, but it's not always entirely possible. You do have to shut off to a degree, yes, but you can't close it off completely. And when something's going on, you need to be able to tell your boss so they can take that into consideration. And you should never have to fear that it's going to affect your job. I am very lucky where I work. My work has a really good support system when it comes to mental health. And my manager, he's had his own personal experiences and he's never not been supportive for me. And my area director as well has been a rock through the last few years when I've had difficulties. Without them, I don't think I'd be in the place that I am today. And if you don't have that sort of support at work, you have to find it outside work. And there has to be a way for you to be able to voice what you're going through. Whether that's professional help, whether that's family, whether that's friends, or for some people I know even that's the internet. Believe it or not, in this evil, dark place called the internet that we so use, there are some bright sparks, and it's important to find your community. But when work is either the reason or is being affected by something outside of work, you need to be able to speak up. I mean, every job is going to come with stresses. And the important thing is as well that those stresses don't overlay into your personal life from work. As I say, the two will mesh, but you can't let them take over. And I think it's important for you to be able to shut off when you leave work. So that means these communications that we have, these group chats, they make it so hard to shut off. But I think there has to come a point when you're allowed to turn off. I mean, the odd message in the group chat between work colleagues, who cares? But when you're constantly talking about work and it being a demand on your own mental health, when you're outside work, that's when that's a problem. You gotta remember that most of your time, most of your life, you are spent at work. That should be a place that you're happy. If you're not, you're in the wrong job. And these companies that are out there that don't support people, It's crazy in my eyes, especially in this day and age when mental health is talked about as much as it is. Um, this whole cliche thing that some companies have, that we're a family, that we support each other. Some of them don't live up to it. And they're not your family at the end of the day. Your work colleagues. They all work. Okay, they might be a work family, but that's as close as it gets. Your life outside work is more important. Um, and yeah, it's important that you're able to talk about things that are going on with you. So, what I would say is, if something is going on with you, if you feel comfortable with talking to someone at work about it, please do. There are, even if you can't go directly to your management, to your line manager, um, you should be able to go to HR or some confidential service they will have in place. They have to. I think legally they have to nowadays. But it's important that you don't let this sort of thing affect yourself, and you should never be scared that it's going to affect your career. At the end of the day, your career can change at any point. I mean, there's no telling when your career is going to start. I mean, there's this artist, music artist that I listen to, that's Rory, and she talks about the fact in one of her latest songs about "Sorry I'm Late," because she came into the music game very late, and she's incredible for what she's done. Um, but who says she's late? Who says that wasn't her time to make it? The idea that you have to start a career when you're in your early 20s and be some big shot very quickly is absolute garbage. Um, it's the same with the princess fairy tale um, myth that people seem to have in their heads, that you need to be have a family and have a kids by a certain age. It's the same with your career. You'll set a goal, you'll set an age that you have to reach this, and it's absolute crap. You will meet your requirements at your right time, and if your workplace isn't the right place for your mental health right now, it ain't the right place for your mental health right now. There are millions of companies that do the same thing. You will find a company that you can work in and that is suited for you and will give you the support that you deserve. Do not stick in a job just because of the fact that you think that you need to be there because this is where you started and this is where you're going to build up. I've prescribed to that for a long time, and I reckon I would have probably left the company I work for a long time ago when I was going through my struggles, if if I had taken that on board. But the truth is, I'm glad I did stick it out, because it did turn out alright for me. But it doesn't mean that a toxic environment's going to change. Not all of them will. And it turns out that it wasn't the company I was working for as such, it was the people that were directly above me at that time. But I got out, and I got out of it, and I ended up on the road to recovery. Your story isn't my story, though. Some people will have the same experience as me. Some people will be able to get out of that dark place in the job that they're in. If you truly love a job, doesn't mean you can't do it somewhere else. Um, but that's got to be a judgment that you make. You need to be able to judge the company that you work for on base, not on the people that you work directly below, but the whole company. And I've moved departments within the same job role, within the same company, many a time, so I know that not everybody is like the toxic environments that I did work in, and that's why I know I can stay with this company. But that's got to be a judgment that you need to see, and if you can't see it, you need to get out. Um, your well-being and your mental stability, your health, has to get priority over everything else. Um, and in order to do that, you need to feel like you have the support of the people around you. If you don't, it's not the right place for you. Some people will strive in that way because of the fact that they don't have these mental health issues. They don't have the struggles that you will necessarily have, and that's okay for them. But that might not be okay for you. You need to take a look at the bigger picture, not what's happening right now. But don't worry about too much about the future, because your time will come. Just like it did for Rory, and her career is now taking off and she is thriving. And please do check her out because she's amazing. I will tag her in this video actually, because I think her success and what she has achieved and been through is incredible. And I'm not going to tell her story. That's for her to tell. But she does tell it in her songs and on her profile as well. So check her out. But the important thing is not to judge yourself where you are at your life right now, because everything can change in a blink of a minute. One day is not the rest of your life. It's like I always said, one bad day is not a bad life. It's a bad day, not a bad life, which was actually a song lyric from Sigrid and Bring Me the Horizon, Bad Day. And it's important to remember that. But it's also important to remember that you deserve better than a string of bad days. And if that's happening due to stress at work and you can't speak up about it, it's not the right place to be. And those companies won't survive as long as people keep challenging it and moving on when they realise it. Toxic environments will strive when people accept. So yeah, manage your work life and your personal life, but your personal life has to take priority, and your work needs to be understanding of that. They have a business to run at the end of the day. You have a business to run at the end of the day, which is your own body, your own life. Because when you're dead and buried and gone, that company will keep on going. But the time you wasted in a really bad place is lost. That's why it's so important to take care of you. Anyway, that's my bit about stress and mental health in the workplace today. I'm done rambling for now. So I hope you're having a great day. And thank you so much for donating, liking, sharing. We are actually going to have a little event at work to raise more money for the Papyrus cause, which I will reveal details for going down the road. But yeah, that's all for now. Please keep sharing, please keep liking, please keep donating. This is a fantastic cause that we're doing. And we just got to keep going. As I say, the charity fundraiser has at least 16 months to go. But this is not going to stop. It's important that we get the word out, and it's important that we keep on talking about these things. So I hope you're having a great day and a great mental health day, and I'll speak to you guys soon.